Hi. Good afternoon, everybody.
大家下午好。
Before we start proceedings today, we need to explain a few details about today's events.
亲爱的各位毕业生，各位尊贵的来宾，欢迎大家光临美亚国际学校2020年大学预科项目毕业典礼。在受疫情的影响呢，我们在这里呢，今天的毕业典礼有一些细节要跟大家事先交代一下。
As you know, we have several QAS students and teachers still outside the country and unable to return. At this graduation, David, Suchi and Yuka will be virtually present on screens and will have a robotic presence as well. The robot has been designed by graduating student Jacob Wong and robotics teacher Jack Guan, assisted by the QAIS robotics team as a labour of love.
受疫情影响呢，我们有3位毕业生苏琪、David 和 Yuka 将通过网络连线和典礼现场的毕业生机器人参加我们今天的毕业典礼。毕业生机器人是由美亚机器人俱乐部项目负责人管老师、毕业生 Jacob 黄恩乐带领着全体社团的成员，从结构设计到制作安装和调试，耗时1个月才完成的。它凝聚着毕业生深厚的友谊。
The robot has a camera at the front and sends back what the robot sees to Suchi, David and Yuka. So this is not simply a novelty or a gimmick. It has a purpose to better allow our students in India and Hong Kong to feel as if they are here with us. This means a lot to them and their families, and likewise it's important for the graduating class and all of us here to feel that they are part of our community again.
我们的毕业生机器人装有摄像头，机械臂与笔记本电脑相连接，但它并不仅仅是一件炫酷的作品。更重要的是，通过毕业生机器人，我们在印度和香港的3位毕业生苏琪、David 和 Yuka 能够同时感受身临其境的毕业氛围，感受我们始终是和他们在一起的。 这对毕业生、毕业生家人，乃至我们整个毕业班和我们全部的人，都是一个难忘的时刻。
Before we start, please switch off your cell phones or make them silent now, please.
在典礼正式开始之前，请各位关闭手机或将手机调至静音模式。谢谢。
Please rise for the graduating class of 2020.
请全体起立，欢迎我们的2020届毕业生入场。
If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me, not 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah.
Please, everybody, be seated.
全体请坐。
We begin with a video designed and created by graduating student Angie Giraldo to look back at the lives of our graduating students and let us see their journey so far.
首先，让我们跟随毕业生安吉同学策划和制作的一段视频，走进我们毕业生的成长历程。
Hi, Percy here, and my friend Angie and
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. And we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back memories bring back your. There's a time that I remember when I did not know no pain, when I believed in forever and everything would stay the same. Now my heart feel like December when somebody say your name, 'cause I can't reach out to call you, but I know I will one day. Hey. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Hey, hey. But everything gon' be alright. Gonna raise a glass and say, hey. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here but you're not, 'cause the dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back your. Memories bring back your. There's a time that I remember when I never felt so lost, and I felt all of the hatred was too powerful to stop. And my heart feel like an ember, and it's lighting up the dark. I'll carry these torches for you, and you know I'll never drop. Yeah, everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Yeah, yeah. But everything gon' be alright. Gonna raise a glass and say, hey. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here but you're not, 'cause the dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back your. Memories bring back your. Memories bring back your. Memories bring back your.
Give me a second, I need to get my story straight. My friends are in the bathroom getting higher than the Empire State. My lover, she's waiting for me just across the bar. My seat's been taken by some sunglasses, asking about a scar, and I know I gave it to you months ago.
Electrochemical that convert fuel's energy directly into electricity.
Geez, you know, I'm trying hard to take it back. So if by the time the bar closes and you feel like falling down, I'll carry you home tonight.
It's off to original silhouette tracks.
So let's set the world on fire.
ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. Oh, oh, oh,
oh. So if by the time the bar closes and you feel like falling down, I'll carry you home tonight.
美吗？
Perfect standing there in my American apparel underwear, and I know now that I'm so down. Your lipstick stains. And I know now that I'm so down. You know I want you. It's not a secret I try to hide. You know you want me, so don't keep saying our hands are tied. You claim it's not in the cards, and fate is pulling you miles away and out of reach from me. But you're here in my heart, so who can stop me if I decide it's on my destiny? What if we rewrite the stars? Say you made
Class of 2020!
you be the one I was meant to find. It's up to you, and it's up to me. No.
Angie, that was awesome. Thank you very much for doing that for us all.
大家一定都同意哈，我们真的是觉得安吉同学做的这个视频真的太棒了啊，那么多我们难忘的回忆在里面。
So welcome everybody. For our opening remarks, I'm calling on the campus director and head of school, Dr. Christopher Vicari, to say a few words of wisdom and welcome. Thank you.
下面我们有请白山教育集团教育总监、美亚国际学校校长 Chris Vicari 博士致辞。
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, one and all, to the 9th annual commencement ceremony at Qingdao Amerasia International School. June 20th, 2020 will be etched forever in the history books as the day on which we honored the achievements of our largest graduating class to date and sent them off into the wide world to share their bounteous gifts with others and to continue to make our planet a more enlightened and peaceful place by their presence. In the past 8 years, a total of 18 Amerasia graduates have walked across the stage to receive their high school diplomas. Today, we are pleased and proud to add 8 more names to that list for a new total of 26. Graduates, we are so thrilled to be here to share this special day with you, to honor your contributions to the QAIS community, and to celebrate reaching this important milestone in your lives. We've watched you grow up, develop your intellectual capacities and talents, and become inquiring, courageous global citizens with flexible minds and open hearts. You have mastered the rigors of the IB diploma program while becoming true scholars and leaders. You are poised and ready to embark upon the next great leg of your life's journey. In your small class of 8 within the next few months, you will scatter across the globe and land on 3 different continents in at least 4 different countries. Who knows where life will take you next? However, no matter where you are on planet Earth, you will all share a common history and common roots as only the 3rd QAIS class to complete the IBDP. QAIS class of 2020. Out of the more than 7 billion people alive today, only the 8 of you will ever be able to say that. And that is something truly special and something to be proud of. Commencement ceremonies are always good times to share reflections on life, wisdom we have gained, and advice for the graduates. Everyone in your life will probably have a different opinion and a different message for you this week, so I hope you receive and process those messages in a way that is personal and meaningful for you, as this life is yours to create and your journey yours to navigate. One indisputable fact upon which we can all agree, however, is that it has been an extraordinary year for the world. The COVID-19 pandemic has threatened the lives and the livelihoods of people around the globe in new and profound ways. In addition to the obvious damage that the virus has had on the physical health of patients, it has also compromised the emotional and mental well-being of millions more around the world. Feelings of fear, helplessness, and grief have spread from country to country, further upending people's lives. In a poll taken just weeks after the outbreak, nearly half of all adults in the United States reported that their mental health had been negatively impacted due to worry and stress. Throughout this extraordinarily challenging period, I've turned on numerous occasions to Viktor Frankl's seminal work, Man's Search for Meaning, written after Frankl survived the Holocaust. While Frankl's experience in a Nazi concentration camp was obviously very different than that of a health pandemic, he understood that regardless of the situation, there was a human capacity to creatively turn life's negative aspects into something positive or constructive. In short, he knew that the secret to getting through suffering was not to escape it or run away from it, but rather to turn into it and find positive meaning in it. For some, that could be an opportunity to reflect and recalibrate one's priorities or values, foster a deeper connection to our loved ones, or let go of some unhealthy habits that we have been carrying. Frankl reminds us that in the face of challenges that seem insurmountable, we have an opportunity to choose our response, and our choice should reflect our purpose. His famous quote, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space is our power to choose. And it's in that choice that lies our growth and our freedom." So Frankl's legacy is found in the irreplaceable significance of purpose and its inherent connection to how humans break through adversity. But how does one figure out their purpose? Some people might go an entire lifetime confused about this. Graduates, on this point, you have much to be grateful for. This rigorous, student-centered IBDP program, unlike any other in the world, has set you on a solid path of seeking and finding purpose by giving you the opportunity to explore ideas, topics, and themes that interest you. Whether it be your IB art portfolio, your studies of ESS, your chemistry or biology IA, your extracurricular activities like robotics or piano, or the multitude of creativity, activity, and service projects you have carried out in your homes and in your communities, you have had the unique high school experience of immersing yourselves in pursuits that stir your passions, ones that give meaning and purpose to your lives. For myself, when I was 17, my father, noticing how much I enjoyed reading certain books in high school, told me, "Literature will one day save your life." I can't tell you how many times those wise words proved to be prophetic. See, your interests and passions will be your saving grace in your darkest moments. These will shine like beacons of light when you are shrouded in adversity. These will allow you to tap into that indomitable human spirit, that unquenchable thirst for life that will lead to your triumph. Follow your interests and passions, and you will find your purpose. And you will prove to yourself time and again that what's within you is stronger than what's in your way. And that is the great secret Viktor Frankl wished to reveal to the world. So graduates, on behalf of the QAIS community, we congratulate you on this fine achievement, your high school graduation. Enjoy your journey of discovering purpose, and best wishes in all your future endeavors. We're so proud of you.
Thank you, Dr. Chris, for your positivity and a very uplifting start to this year's diploma graduation.
感谢 Chris Vicari 博士激情洋溢的精彩致辞。Now, please welcome our keynote speaker, Mr. Mark Briley. 下面呢，我们欢迎我们的美亚中学部校长 Mark Briley 先生致辞。
Well, as I'm already here, I guess I'll start now. Thank you. Dear class of 2020, parents, family, friends, teachers, students, leadership, administrators, and support staff of QAIS, I thank you all for being here today. There is a story that in 1962, US President JFK was visiting the NASA space program for the first time. During his tour, he met a janitor and casually asked the janitor what he did for NASA. And the janitor replied, "I'm helping to put a man on the moon." This was 7 years before American astronauts first landed on the moon. The janitor, which many may consider a lowly position, had already connected his purpose with that of landing the first people on the moon. Likewise, we have a purpose in QAIS to help everybody to be the very best version of themselves that they can possibly be. Students and teachers cannot do that alone. We rely on everyone here to create the environment for learning to take place. So I thank every one of you for making this school a place where we can learn, where we can explore, where we can all grow, and we can all flourish. Dear parents, this would not happen without you honoring us with the education of your child, and your trust in us is reflected in the school around you, in which I am so proud to serve. Thank you. Dear graduating class, I thank you for choosing me as your speaker. I am honored and touched, and so it's time. Time to recognize all the learning you have done, the concepts, the context, the service, the action, the CAS, the personal projects, the essays, the extended essays, the IAs, the PowerPoints, PPTs, the movies, the role plays, the debates, the orals, the presentations. Boy, were there a lot of presentations, huh? The speeches, the decisions, the performances, the designs, the discussions, the musicals, the plays, the labs, the MUN, the MMUN, the INMUN, The Group 4 project, doesn't that seem an awful long time ago? Really? And 1,000 more academic things. Then there's the love, the patience, the thoughtfulness, the collaboration, the leadership, the sharing, the anticipation, the selflessness, the humor, the compassion, but also the worries, the arguments, the negotiations, the resolutions, the search for justice, sadness, and also, unfortunately, heartbreak. But your graduating class has not been a soap opera. You that we honor today are not mere actors on a stage. You have shared the high theatre of life together. You have lived with purposefulness, passion, and yet at the same time, you have been writing the script yourselves. And it's been a very good script. Angie, you were asking me about German words a few days ago. Here's one more word for you. Der Mensch. It literally means the human in English. But in German and Yiddish, Yiddish being the pre-Holocaust language of the Jews of Central Europe, to be called a Mensch means that you are a noble, honorable, and decent person of the highest regard. So I, with pride, want to tell you that I consider every single one of you to be a Mensch. So what of the future? What is your journey to be? One of my first ideas for this address was to talk about the global problems that face all of humanity. As humans, we seem to have constant challenges, almost all that are created by ourselves and for ourselves. COVID-19 is one that makes the problem manifest here and now. The response of China has been phenomenal. But for 3 of your graduating class, also incredibly frustrating. This has been scary at times. We have seen our friends and schoolmates, teachers, parents, celebrities, all in positions of peril. Through this, we have worried, we have empathized, shared our experiences, and hopefully treated all of the people with more compassion. The current pandemic is far from our biggest threat, yet it scares us more because it's become personal. Yet other more potentially serious pandemics need addressing, as does climate change, inequity, and inequality. So graduating class, I could have written this address to advise you about personal problems you face in the future, about the problems of the world in the future. I could talk about you making a difference in the world, finish with a snappy slogan that, for example, from President Obama, or from the animated children's series, Bob the Builder, I could say, "Can you do it?" And of course you would reply, "Yes, we can." Then I would conclude with mission accomplished, and then have a great life. However, when I listened to your speeches earlier this week in graduation rehearsals, it struck me that this would not be appropriate for me to give you as advice, for 2 good reasons. The first reason is that you are already so knowledgeable. You are IB students. Not only do you know things, but you also know what you don't know. You are already the musicians, artists, and artisans that make our lives worth living. You are the technologists, the scientists. You are the communicators of your generation. You are the priest bringers. You are the light bearers. You are already the caretakers of our planet. The second reason is that through both the QAIS and IB missions, you have developed all the attributes and skills to solve problems collaboratively, thoughtfully, empathically, critically, resiliently, ethically, and successfully. So instead of advice or a glimpse into one of the multitude of probable futures today, instead, I'm going to set you a personal challenge. Graduating class of 2020, I do not think life is a journey to get you somewhere. It's not an appointment to be met, and there is certainly no rush to get there. If you think life is a journey, then ask yourself, what's the purpose of the journey? So Ken Robinson, in his inspirational TED Talk, told us that human creativity is actively and systematically destroyed by education systems that value knowledge over creativity. I put it to you that this is not only true, but destruction of creativity also destroys part of our fundamental human nature, our desire and ability to dance, and to know and to talk to ourselves emotionally, to respond simultaneously and immediately to our external environment and our internal emotions. For me, that is the dance. So I challenge you to start to listen to your own dance, your inner dance. Whether you know it or not, you've been dancing all your lives. As a child, you danced a lot, I bet. You followed your own rhythm. Do you still do that? This is the beat that drives you forwards. I challenge you to rediscover that rhythm, move with it, and control it. I challenge you to listen carefully, for you to turn down the noise of your thoughts, to take a long time to listen carefully, to take a long time to listen deeply, and to hear the beat deep within you. Find your rhythm. Know your dance. That's your life. As the philosopher Alan Watts said, the only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, join the dance. When we dance, the journey itself is the point, as when we play music, the playing itself is the point. I suggest you do not rush to the journey's end. Join the dance, be aware of who you are, and be true to yourself and those around you. Be aware, connected, and know how to control and feel your emotions in all that you do. Each of you already has many dances within you, and I'm sure you will not only refine and embellish your dances, but also add to them. Ray, without a doubt, your dance would be a dance of caring. Let others know the depth of your compassion. Let others see the love you have inside you. Yuka, I feel you have the dance of inquiry. You want to know about everything. Your dance will always be in motion because it will always be growing. David, you have the dance of integrity. You are principled and balanced. Your dance will always give honor to those around you. Suchi, you have the dance of voice. You always speak up and ask the right questions. When you dance, you will help give voices to the disenfranchised people around you. Angie, your dance is the dance of connection. You will bring people together to collaborate and communicate, and in so doing, create community. Ada, your dance is technical and precise. It will show others how the world really works. As you dance, you will create new knowledge for those you dance with. Jacob, your dance will be the dance of solutions. Your dance will improve lives, solve problems, and help others envisage a more hopeful future. Last but not least, Lisa, your dance will bring calmness. Your dance is stability and balance. It will help center people and always give them a shelter from the storm. When you leave here, students no more, at least at this school, you will take away part of the dance of this community, of everybody here, and yet also leave behind the echoes of your dance with us. We thank you for that. Don't be strangers. We will miss you terribly, so make sure you come back and visit. Finally, thank you for being with us, and enjoy your journey, enjoy your dance. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mark, for your words of encouragement. 非常感谢 Mark 先生对我们毕业生的鼓励和祝福。
And now, we have the first of our musical interludes, introducing the graduating class supergroup, Andasa, with Angie on guitar, Ada on vocals, Lisa on piano, performing the song The Wind of Summer.
下面我们有请大家欣赏乐队表演《夏天的风》，钢琴演奏 Lisa 李姿颖，吉他 Angie， 演唱 Ada 李嘉珍。这支乐队的名字 Amerasia 正是由3位表演者的名字组成的，请大家欣赏。
Thank you, Amerasia, for that gentle and delightful performance.
谢谢我们的 Amerasia 乐队带来的精彩演唱。
Now we'll hear remarks from our graduates in turn. Each student in our graduating class has chosen a teacher to introduce them today.
接下来让我们聆听毕业生感言。那每一位毕业生呢，选择了一位老师来介绍他们。
So to begin, please welcome to the stage Dr. Dan North, who will introduce Angie Giraldo.
首先，我们欢迎Dan博士，他将介绍毕业生 Angie 同学。
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure, my honor today to introduce Angie Giraldo. Angie is one of those students graduating today who has been at QAIS for longer than it has been QAIS. She remembers it back when it was called Qingdao American International School, and even before that when, thanks to an excessively literal Google Translate, which was in beta at the time, when it was called Miss Lily's Ocean City Smart Study Happy Shack. When we were looking for pictures for students to put in the video that Angie put together, I couldn't find any of Angie's pictures that were actually in color, so I'm surprised you were able to find some. I think some of them were even just cave paintings. Okay. It's all right, I teach high school. I'm very used to jokes falling flat in front of an audience. Enough of this. The last ancient Greek word that I will teach you from literary study, Angie, is apophasis. Apophasis. This is when you bring up a subject by saying that you're not going to mention it. So I'm not going to mention Angie's intellectual abilities. Nothing of what I could say would surprise anybody who's taught her. Angie is not gifted, whatever that means. She just works really hard, and she knows how to motivate herself, how to move forward when the work is difficult and when the world is harsh. She's balanced in the face of setbacks, exuberant in the company of friends. That's the ideal attitude that we can expect from our students, but I don't want to tell you anything about that. I'm sure I will miss Angie's brilliance in my classes, but what I'll definitely remember are the goofball questions that she throws at me and her complete shamelessness about asking them out loud in a classroom setting. So in a class with Angie, it could begin with her asking, do I need my copy of Macbeth today? But more likely it would start with something like, these are actual things she has asked me in class. Dr. Dan, I have a question. I decided not to try and do the voice today. Dr. Dan, I have a question. Would you rather be a horse or a pigeon? Would you rather have an avocado or a pineapple as your only weapon in a fight against a giant duck? Or would you rather teach Shakespeare to 11th graders? And my answer would always be the same as it was when I was asked if I wanted to introduce Angie today. Is that a real question? Please welcome Angie Giraldo.
Hey everyone. This is probably the hardest essay I've ever written, even harder than the IAs or the EE. It's not because it's very complex, but because there's so much I want to say. So here it is in a nutshell. I came to QAIS when I was a small 7-year-old second grader. I was new to this city, and I didn't speak a word of English. The first thing I ever tried writing for school was, I love you, because it was the only English I knew, even though I could not spell it, and even though I did not know what it meant. But I liked the teachers. I liked the small campus by the sea, and the other 3 campuses, and I made friends. I began 3rd grade alone. No classmates, no homeroom teacher. Then I got lucky, and Yuka became my classmate. Slowly throughout the years, we gained more and more friends, teachers, and classmates. Even though most of them left, I still remember all the good times, the bad times, and experiences they enhanced my life with. Watching the school grow reminds me of how much I've grown with the school. In this school, I've seen people come and go. So when there's a group like my class who's had time to build our strong bonds, it's truly special. Everyone I've met in my life has shared a part of them with me. Yuka's curiosity, David's dedication, Jacob's ingenuity, Ray's optimism, Suchi's self-discipline, Ada's wit, and Lisa's humbleness all influenced me and helped me to grow. I can say how each person I know influenced me, but that would be a list too long. So thank you guys, both my friends in school and my friends outside of school, for helping me and sharing a part of you with me. This also goes for all the teachers who were patient and supportive during the last 2 years, and years before as well, who not only helped me to grow academically, but also as a person, guiding me through my thousands of questions and frustrations. And lastly, but most importantly, Lastly, but most importantly, I would like to thank my parents for their unconditional love, support, and patience in my life. Thank you for being my parents, my lifelong teachers and companions. I don't thank you enough, but my gratitude is beyond words. If you asked me today whether I would go back and do it all again, I would say no. Partly because I really don't want to do all the work again, but also because this last year, being especially beautiful and difficult, went exactly as it should have, learning to grow from mistakes and getting ready to embark on the next journey. When the coronavirus epidemic and pandemic began, none of us thought it would become what it became. We didn't expect it to change what we would do in the next weeks, months, or even lives, but it did. We're that special class that somehow got stuck in the middle of it and became the class of COVID-19. I'm sure you all experienced panic, confusion, and loss of motivation like I did. All the work was put on hold when I should have been rushing to finish it. But today, 150 days since the pandemic started, we are all here, all connected in various ways, celebrating. So, in 15 days from now, when we receive our IB results and see our futures, let's remember that. Everything will be okay. We will achieve what we want and what is best for us. So thank you for my family for being there from the beginning, my friends and teachers who are here today, and those who hopped on the train along the way. Thank you for coming to this ceremony, both in person and virtually. Thank you, and remember to stay happy.
Thank you, Angie and Dr. Dan.
谢谢我们的Dan博士和 Angie 同学。
Next, to introduce Jacob Wong, please welcome robotics coach Jack Guan.
下面我们有请机器人项目教练管老师介绍我们的毕业生 Jacob 黄恩乐同学。
I'm very glad that I can be the teacher to introduce Jacob in the graduation ceremony. As an outstanding student in my course, Jacob has excellent design ability, excellent practical ability, and a gifted creativity. He is also quick-minded and flexible, and he can always make an accurate judgment during emergency situations. But not only that, what impressed me the most was that when we participated in the robotics competition in Silicon Valley, the national anthem of the United States was played on the field just when we were debugging the robot programs. At that time, Jacob stopped all his work with respect. In my opinion, the most important thing for a person is not only outstanding skills and profound knowledge, but also the establishment of a correct outlook on life. Whether you are in China, the United States, or the whole world, as long as you are motivated by positive energy, a person will gradually develop his meaningful self-actualization. I hope you will never forget the education and cultivation given by your alma mater during your future study in the university, including your work in the society. It is QARS that has taught you how to treat someone correctly, analyze problems correctly, and understand the world. Love of learning is the priceless treasure of your life. Now it's my great pleasure now to welcome Jacob to the stage.
Hello everyone, I'm Jacob. You probably know me as the robotics nerd. Throughout my 7 years at QAIS, I've learned about, experienced many big real-life issues, including the current pandemic coinciding with worldwide global rights awareness and protests. The challenges we face goes well beyond the crisis. The old normal is not good enough because it wasn't working that well. We're in this together. All nations are facing the same problems, and indeed showed us that we need to work together to make a global world better. Throughout these 7 years, I learned a lot, such as the IB learner profiles, collaboration, critical thinking, self-motivation, self-management, but most importantly, kindness. Kindness speaks to my heart. It makes me think deeply about my life and to others. It helps me think, listen, forgive, and appreciate the value of life. My amazing teachers have also taught me skills such as thinking outside of the box or looking at things from both perspectives. A common fault we all have as humans is procrastination. Some people talk about the procrastination monkey hidden inside our brains, controlling what we do. Our procrastination monkey isn't interested in essays, projects, or deadlines. It is interested in video games, robots, and of course, bananas. I know this is bad for homework, test preparation, or working to a project deadline. But if you look at it from a different perspective, there has to be times when procrastination is a good thing, right? I'll tell you when I find out what that is, but in the meantime, I'm going to try to control my personal procrastination monkey. I'd like to thank QAIS teachers, my family, and my friends. You have made me grow and blossom. You taught me life is short, so we should make the most out of it. Think every day like it is the last day, accomplish and learn something meaningful for you and your society. Again, thank you for everyone for coming. Without everyone's support, I will never be who I am today. I wish you all put a dent on this world, make it meaningful and make it beneficial for everyone. I love you, Mom and Dad. Good luck to everyone. Thank you. This is Jacob.
Thank you so much, Jacob and Jack.
谢谢我们的管老师和毕业生 Jacob 同学。
Now for our second musical interlude, we would like to present Suchi singing the song Breathless by Shankar Madhavan.
下面我们请大家通过一段来自印度的视频，一起欣赏毕业生苏琪同学演唱的一曲非常独特的这个歌曲《无法呼吸》。
Hello everyone, I will be singing Breathless by Shankar Mahadevan, who is a popular Indian classical music singer. From the name Breathless, you can kind of guess how the song would be. So basically the original singer sang it with 1 or 2 breaths continuously, and that's what the hardest aspect about the song is. The song needs to be sang continuously with almost like no breath or stop. So let's see if you could find my breaths in it.
कोई जो मिला तो मुझे ऐसा लगता था जैसे मेरी सारी दुनिया में गीतों की रुत और रंगों की बरखा है, खुशबू की आंधी है, बहकी हुई सी अब सारी फिजाएं, बहकी हुई सी अब सारी हवाएं, खोई हुई सी अब सारी दिशाएं, बदली हुई सी अब सारी अदा, जागे उमंगे है, धड़क रहा है दिल सांसों में तूफान, होठों पे नगमे है, आंखों में सपने, सपनों में बीते हुए सारे वो लम्हे, जब कोई आया था नजरों पे छाया था, दिल में समाया था, कैसे मैं बताऊं तुम्हें कैसा उसे पाया था, प्यार से चेहरे पे बिखी थी जो जुल्फे, तो ऐसा लगता था जैसे कोहरे के पीछे एक ओस में डुला हुआ फूल खिला है, जैसे दिल में एक चांद छुपा है और झांक रहा है, जैसे रात के पर्दे एक सवेरा है, रोशन रोशन आंखों में सपनों का सागर, जिसमें प्रेम सितारों के चादर जैसे झलक रही है, लहरों लहरों बात करे तो जैसे मोती बरसे, ऐसे कहीं चांद की पायल गूंजे, ऐसे कहीं शीश की जाम गिरे और छन से टूटे, जैसे कोई चुप के सितार बजाए, जैसे कोई चांदनी रात में गाए, जैसे कोई और से पास बुलाए, कैसे मीठी बातें थी वो, कैसे मुलाकातें थी वो, जब मैंने जाना था नजरों से कैसे पिघलती है दिल, आरज़ू पाती है कैसे मंजिल, कैसे उतरता है चांद ज़मीन पर, कैसे कभी लगता है स्वर्ग अगर है तो बस यहीं पर, उसने बनाया मुझे और समझाया मुझे, हम जो मिले हैं हमें ऐसे ही मिलना था, फूल जो खिले हैं उन्हें ऐसे ही खिलना, जन्मों के बंधन जन्मों के रिश्ते हैं, जब भी हम जन्मे तो हम यूं ही मिलते, कानों में मेरे जैसे शहद से घुलने लगे, ख्वाबों के डर जैसे आंखों में खिलने लगे, ख्वाबों की दुनिया में कितनी हंसी और कैसे रंगी थी, ख्वाबों की दुनिया जो कहने को थी पर कहीं भी नहीं ख्वाब जो जुटे मेरे आँख जो खुली मेरी होश जो आया मुझे मैंने देखा मैंने वो जो कभी आया था नजरों पे छाया था दिल में समाया जा भी चुका है और दिल मेरा है अब तन्हा तन्हा ना तो कोई अरमा है ना कोई तमन्ना है और ना कोई सपना अब जो मेरी दिन और अब जो मेरी रातें हैं उनमें सिर्फ आंसू उनमें सिर्फ दर्द की रंज की बातें हैं और फरियाद मेरा अब कोई नहीं मैं हूँ और खोए हुए प्यार की याद मैं हूँ और खोए हुए प्यार की याद मैं हूँ और खोए हुए प्यार की याद है
That was beautiful, Suchi. Really.
谢谢苏琪同学的精彩演唱，
Thank you so
太
much.
棒了。
Now we'll return to student remarks and call to the stage Lorne Brandt to introduce Lisa Lee.
下面我们回到毕业生致辞，我们有请 Lauren 老师介绍毕业生 Lisa 李姿颖同学。
We have some creative students here, and I haven't even started my speech, and I'm breathless after watching that right there. It's an honor to introduce Lisa. Lisa has proven to be such a great student when it comes to being conscientious with her studies and producing high-quality artworks. During e-learning, especially when I was anxious about getting students from the work, getting students to get their work in, she rose to the occasion and submitted a portfolio that any student would be proud to submit. But more than a student, Lisa has proven to be genuinely nice, caring, and responsible, and as Angie said earlier, all of this with humility too, so I can echo that too. She was the first to show up when we visited the Qingdao Art Museum, and one of the students who wanted to stay afterwards. Her passion her passion for excellence is evident. This is her third year at QAIS, and she's been accepted by School of Visual Arts in New York, Pratt in New York, and received scholarships to California College of Art, Savannah College of Art and Design, Parsons in New York. All of these are great art schools, impressive art schools. I know that Lisa will do excellent things as she eventually ventures to Parsons to study illustration. I'm extremely proud of you, and always wish you the best. I hope that you keep me updated with all of your accomplishments. Welcome, Lisa.
Good afternoon, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, and the graduation class of 2020. Here we are, ready to start our next journey. To my classmate, we've made it. We finally made it. We're graduating. Congratulations. Congratulations not to all of us graduates, but also to our teachers, parents, friends, families, and admins. Without you guys, we couldn't make it. Thank you so much. It is my pleasure to have you being my classmates and admins. To my parents, thanks for being there when I need you, when I don't need you. You guys are always giving me suggestions and patient during my worst time. For the past few years, I never thought my own graduation. I saw time was standing still. I thought I could always play video games in math class. I thought my friends, teachers, and parents would be together forever. I still can remember my first day of school 3 years ago. I was excited and standing in front of the door. I was wearing my school uniform and with a pink hairpin. I was wondering what my classmate would look like and what is going to happen that day. Then suddenly, I was sitting in a room and my classmates were still smiling at me. So here I am today. I'm not wearing my pink hairpin anymore, but my classmates are still there and smiling at me. Without my classmates, it would be hard for me to survive the DP program. The precious things for me has not been the thousands of papers I have written or the knowledge I have learned in the past few years. It's the memories that we all made together. Some of us and our parents are wondering about our future. I believe we will all face some challenges, but that we can overcome them by applying the knowledge we have learned at school. I'm not only talking about just academic knowledge, but also soft skills like interpersonal relationship. Like I always like to say, everything is gonna be okay. So here we are. We have already reached one of the biggest milestones in our lives. It's not helpful to stay in the past. It is the time to open a new chapter, and I hope one day in the future, I can see all of you on Forbes 500 Billionaires list. I won't forget the time we've been together and hope to see all of you again in the future. Lastly, thank you to you all for coming to our graduations.
Thank you, Lisa and Lorne.
谢谢 Lauren 老师和 Lisa 同学。
To introduce Suchi, please welcome Vivian Xing.
接下来，让我们热烈的掌声欢迎 Vivian 邢老师上台，他将为我们介绍毕业生 Suchi 同学。
Dear parents, teachers, and students, it's my honor to introduce the student. She used the parametric equations and spiral graphs to interpret the interior portion of the marble-roofed central dome inside Taj Mahal. She's a mathematician. In order to raise awareness about gender inequality and the exploitation of knowledge, she created the sculpture, The Never Blossoming Flower, and the painting, The Beautiful Confinement. She's an artist. She constructed a building represent unit in diversity that comprise architectural facets from each continent. She's an architect. To what extent is knowledge in the human science dependent upon knowledge produced in history? She considered the ultimate questions of human beings. She's a philosopher. Who is this multi-talent IB student that is a mathematician, artist, architect, and philosopher? She's the one and only Suchi.
Good afternoon, everyone. Unfortunately, due to the travel restrictions posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, I am unable to live and celebrate this auspicious day with all of you. I hope the speech erases my absence. First of all, I would like to show my deepest gratitude to all teachers, staff, faculty, parents, teachers, and my fellow classmates for making these 4 years of my life in QAIS everything that they were. Throughout this journey, I have made new friends, developed new skills, and learned various sides of myself. It can be extremely difficult to summarize these precious experiences into a single speech. Hence, I would like to ask everyone present here, what is something in your life that makes you lose track of time? For me, it has been all my time in high school and here at QAIS. For me, memories are like a box of sweets. Once opened, you will not just eat one piece. And here I am to open this box once again. Fun fact of my life, I have changed my school for 6 times in my life, with new cities, cultures, people, and curriculums. In each of them, I learned one lesson. Every end has a new beginning. And QAIS is where the biggest transitions of my life occur. From being an international student, intermingling with the global community, to facing the hardships of IB, every day has opened a new perspective to me. It was definitely not a smooth process. I was quite overwhelmed and very hard on myself. Many disappointments, such as my first 10-minute presentation, being silent in a lot of intermediate classes, DPHL artworks, and so on. It's kind of silly, right? Because at that time, I think I was taking academics in a very superficial manner and wanting to be the best like others, but not how to be the best like myself. This is what IB and QAI has taught me, as I learned how to enjoy, find confidence, take more risks, and put as much personal input in everything I do. From writing the long essays, getting the Best Delegate Award, finishing DP content, oh yeah, my DTIA. There were various accomplishments throughout this experience. This level of balance and all-round learning experience would not have been possible without all my teachers who taught me in the school. From terrorism, South Pole, crazy science experiments, climate change, Scotland politics, Blanche from Streetcar Named Desire, and so on. How we used to head to the topics of Beatles from writing Shakespeare and essays, no end to our imaginations. Special thanks to all my DP teachers and some of my past teachers for tolerating all my mistakes and always showing me the right way. All your classes have been the biggest highlights in my time here with many memorable experiences. Our class, which is a blend of amazing talents, cultures, personalities, makes our group unique to me. It is very hard to describe all the notions connecting us all, but here are my 0.0001% thoughts for all of you. Angie, you have always taught me how to be realistic and practical in life, and thanks for laughing at all my lame jokes. Ada, you have always been that one person in our class from whom I learned how to patiently handle things no matter what circumstance. Thanks for being my after-school companion. Lisa, my art mate, and the most cheerful student. I have always had the feeling of everything will be all right from you. My DPHL art class would have been incomplete without you and Andy. Yuka, the first person who taught me how to deal with IB on my first day. I have learned a lot from you in terms of academics, life, school, relationships, future, and so on. The craziness and the freeness that I felt with you have no words for expression. Ray, the ultimate light of excitement in our class. One thing which is very important for this difficult program is facing problems with confidence and enjoying it. And you have truly taught me that. Jacob, I get so inspired by your determination and care for your passion. Thanks for your extremely caring attitude and being that support system whenever the situation was difficult. David, all the Chinese classes would have been empty without you. You have always been very truthful and straightforward. I have learned just to be yourself from you. Another big pillar of strength has been my family and parents that has no words for expression. I feel the most lucky to be your daughter, as you have always showed me how to face the world courageously. Thanks for putting a smile on my face every day. I love you so much. I found my own individuality, my passions, formed my own views, and this IB education has given me an amazing experience for a future career and university life by taking me out of all confusions. To all future DP students, here are the 5 W's of life. Who you are is what makes you special. Do not change for anyone. What lies ahead will always be a mystery. Do not be afraid to explore. When life pushes you over, you push back harder. Where there are choices to make the one you won't regret. Why things happen will never be certain. Take it in stride and move forward. Lastly, lots of best wishes to all my classmates for their future and every student present here. For me, QAIS means quality, abounding, inspiring, and sensational. Thank you, and I'll miss you. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Suchi and Vivian. Sisia. Now, to introduce Ray Pan, please welcome Dr. Vivian Shui.
在这里，我非常荣幸地介绍今年我们的毕业生潘通 Ray. It's my pleasure to introduce graduate Ray Pantong here. I first met Pantong as his grade 7 advisor 6 years ago. He impressed me with his ability to create a happy and relaxing atmosphere in class. Time flies, and today he graduates from DP. The door to the world is open to him. When I think of Pantong, there's always 2 beautiful pictures in my mind. The first one is a young man sitting in front of the piano, performing on the stage. The beautiful music was flowing at his fingertips. His mood immersed in the music, and then the warm light shined around him. The boy who played the piano was Pantong. This is the scene of his concert with his sister 5 years ago. The second picture is an elephant and a young man walking in the morning rainforest. The young man gently tapped the elephant's head and fed the elephant with fresh grass. The elephant flapped his ears happily, and the young man was smiling. The world was so quiet, and the wind is so soft. The young man walking with the elephant was Pantong. This was the scene of last year's elephant rescue and protection project in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Everyone loves Pantong. He's talented and restrained, warm and cheerful. His caring nature and personality allow him to get along well with others and the world. Pantong, thank you for being like the sunshine. Let's light up our every day. Congratulations on your graduation, and the best wishes for your next adventure. I hope you will always find yourself as happy and full of sparkling dreams as you are today. Now, it's my honor to invite Pantong to give his speech.
Hello, teachers, students, and parents. My name is Ray, and I'm very proud to be a graduate student of the class of 2020. I've been studying in this school for 6 years now, but I will film my childish, smiling face on the first day of school at QAS, and the excitement when I first stepped into QAS for the first time. Finally, after 12 years of studying, it is time for me to step into a new stage of my life. When I was young, I always tried to imagine what I would look like when I get older. Imagine what my future would be like and what kind of people I would meet. As time passed, I imagined less about the future as homework and pressure kept on becoming more and more. Fortunately, I'm an optimistic person at heart, so the pressure of schoolwork didn't affect me so much. But I was also willing time to pass faster, so I could escape from my schoolwork faster. But when I finished all the coursework and my CAS in May this year, I started to feel lost. I didn't know what to do every day. I felt my life was losing direction. So now, when I face graduation, instead of feeling excited as I expected, I feel a little sad. Soon, me and my classmates will leave to distant places around the world, and I don't know will I see them again. So now, I really feel what is the word graduate means. To graduate, it is to begin, but it is also an end. It is an end for a beautiful teenage life, and it is also the beginning for us to step into a larger world, to reach out for our dream we made when we were young. Graduating class of 2020, this is my time, but it is also our time. As I leave, I thank all the teachers who taught me. Thank you for your teaching me with patience, always trying to help me when I face struggles in both my personal life and schoolwork. I thank my classmates for making my life interesting and meaningful. I thank my sister, Cher, for always being there for me to share my every feeling and being the greatest sister ever to me. I thank my father for providing me a chance to study in an environment that is diverse and fulfilled with caring. I really thank my mom for always being behind me to support me in my back and giving me what I needed most. Without you, I would not be standing here today. So this is it. I just want to say that today I stand here as a proud member of our QAS community. In the future, I know I will also make QAS part of me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray and Vivian. Our third musical interlude is a performance by Yuka. It's Awake by Josh Groban.
请大家欣赏身在香港的毕业生优卡同学为我们带来的一首关于爱的歌《醒来》。
For this occasion, I've chosen a song by Josh Groban, and it's called Awake. There's actually two reasons I chose this song. Firstly, because this was one of my mom's favorite, and I wanted to do something in her remembrance. Secondly, because I feel like the lyrics of this song really fits the occasion well. This song is about love, about people you love, about memories and past.
A beautiful and blinding morning, the world outside begins to breathe. See clouds arriving without warning. I need you here to shelter me. And I know that only time will tell us how to carry on without each other. So keep me awake to memorize you. Give me more time to feel this way. We can't stay like this forever, but I can have you next to me today. If I could make these moments endless, if I could stop the winds of change, if we just keep our eyes wide open, then everything would stay the same. And I know that only time will tell me how we'll carry on without each other. So keep me awake for every moment. Give us more time to be this way. We can't stay like this forever, but I can have you next to me today. We'll let tomorrow wait. You're here right now with me. All my fears just fall away when you are all I see. We can't stay like this forever, but I have you here today, and I will remember, oh I will remember all the love we shared today.
Thank you so much, Yuka. It's very brave to sing solo in front of so many people, even if it's recorded. I have a message from JD, our technical director, and he has requested, please, that if you're using Wi-Fi or using your phone at the moment to access the internet, could you please stop that? Because unfortunately, it's interfering with the live stream that's going out to our 3 graduates in other countries. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
谢谢我们的优卡的美妙的歌声。现在呢，我们有一个情况，请大家注意一下，因为现场的 WiFi 的信号的缘故，如果您在用这个 WiFi 手机在切入 WiFi， 或者说是用您的这个 WiFi 的信号在录像的话，那麻烦您停止一下，因为我们现场的 WiFi 的信号然后得到了这个影响，然后我们的这个现场的信号没有办法直播啊。
Now we call to the stage Peter Maria to introduce David.
下面我们有请 Peter 老师上台介绍毕业生 David 同学。
Well, wherever David is, hello. I'm really happy that I get to introduce David. I've spent a tremendous amount of time with him, in only the short time we've known each other. I've gotten to know David over my 2 years at QAIS, both inside and outside the classroom. My first real encounter with David was when I was a student council advisor. David was the headstrong co-CEO of the student store who seemed to have a bone to pick with the council and how things were run. I, being new, had no background on this and didn't even know who this guy was, and ended up mediating a talk between him and other representatives. Mediating. Needless to say, my first impression was a little less than ideal. Then we got a further glimpse of David's boldness in his anti-plastic bottle campaign, where he essentially guilted people out of using single-use plastic bottles by placing a poster which seemed every 2 feet in our school. Things became very clear to me. One, when David sets his mind to a task, it was going to be done. And two, you were never left wondering where David stood on certain subjects because his opinion was freely given passionately. This year I had the privilege to really get to see David's enthusiasm and intensity on full display, both as his environmental systems and societies teacher and as extended essay supervisor. It's a surprise to nobody that David has a zealous passion for environmentalism. My job was to figure out how he could focus this into projects and actions. In true David fashion, none of his projects he undertook were simple, but rather required tremendous amount of research, work, and time. His IA investigated how microplastics varied from pollution sources at beaches in both Qingdao and Chennai. The number of hours he spent both in the field and in the lab is incalculable. His EE sought to investigate to what extent solar energy could replace fossil fuels in India, which is something governments haven't even really determined. During the writing stage, despite us being separated both in time zones and in countries during the pandemic, I still managed to speak with him more than any other student, perhaps even my own wife and family. David is a fantastic example of the type of person our world needs, passion for action. David is not content sitting around and waiting to see how events play out. He wants to get his hands dirty and figure it out for himself. Just during this pandemic, he was also making masks in his hometown. I am so proud to have been able to be part of his growth, and I look forward to what he will have in store for us with very great anticipation. It's my pleasure to introduce David.
Parents, faculty, students, and classmates. As I stand here before you through the magic of technology, I'm not only proud, but honored to be able to share a small story that will hopefully allow you to experience my academic journey in the past 17 years. The experiences displayed in the story had played an enormous role in the construction of the individual I am today and yet to become. So, here we go. Once upon a time, lived a little bird who grew up in a family of 4. The little bird's life started off as a challenge, because when he was still in his mother's belly, the doctor bird deemed the little bird abnormal and asked the mother to get an abortion. Even as his mother was repetitively asked by her family members and society to abort the baby, she refused, because she believed in the little bird. 2 months turned into 3, 4, and finally 8. It was August 16, 2002, the year when the little bird was born. At first glance, the doctors were surprised. the little bird was perfectly normal, and the doctor simply claimed that this is just another medical miracle. But in reality, the little bird was born because his mother believed, even when the society didn't. So for that, thank you, Mom. September 15th, 2008 marks the first day of the little bird's schooling. The little bird was excited but scared. In school, the little bird learned addition, subtraction, multiplication, art, English, Hindi, Tamil, and so on. He liked learning. However, over time, the education system changed on him. The excitement that the little bird had slowly faded away as he started to realize that the school system he was in was not trying to develop the little bird's knowledge, but was actually trying to make him bulimic. This mindset made the little bird hopeless as he diverted towards a path that made him dislike education. This mindset made the little bird a victim of bullying, racism, and overall, the little bird became a victim to the same education system that he once loved. The more distance he put between education and himself, the more the society intruded into his freedom and thinking. However, when the little bird joined 5th grade in QAIS, he met a teacher named Miss McDonald. This teacher was unlike any other teacher that the little bird had, because in class, instead of telling students what to do, she gave them the freedom to choose any real-life topic that fit into the given course. Instead of forcing the little bird to memorize content, she let them explore and learn through understanding. This made the little bird come out of the mindset that his prior teachers set upon him. She and the teachers that the little bird had after 5th grade allowed him to develop a lifelong love for learning. For that, I thank you, teachers. Now, over the years of studying in QAIS, I've come to learn many valuable life lessons that I will cherish for the rest of my life. But one of the most prominent one is belief. The importance of believing in yourself in order to achieve what you desire. Understanding this life lesson allowed me to take risks and try out different things, even when the odds were against me, which in itself had valuable learning outcomes. But for this opportunity, I thank the QAIS and its community for giving me a platform to self-learn and reflect. Now finally, if I had to give a piece of advice to the future DP students, this is what I will tell you. Don't stress over your grades too much, guys. The grades you receive don't define who you are. After all, in real life, you can find the answers to all of the questions in your exam with a simple Google search. However, on the other hand, use this opportunity to observe, learn, and improve. IB is unlike any other curriculum I studied in. IB has a lot to offer, but it's our responsibility as students to exploit it and try to gain a valuable learning outcome that could help us become a better individual. And that wraps up my speech. Thank you.
Thank you, David and Peter.
谢谢 Peter 老师和 David 同学。
Now from the rainforest of Brazil, to introduce Ada, is Dr. Qingdao.
下面格劳博士在巴西通过一段视频为我们介绍毕业生 Ada 李嘉珍同学。
As Dr. Qingdao can't be here, her introduction will be a video.
格劳博士在巴西通过一段视频给大家这个介绍学生。
I have the honor of introducing Ada Lee, class of 2020. I met Ada in 2018 when I arrived at QAIS. It didn't take long for me to figure out what every teacher was saying. What an amazing student she is. But our first conversations were nothing about academics. It was about Korea, Korean food, Korean lifestyle, and then Korean cosmetics. And that's when we started talking academics. You see, Ada is passionate about chemistry of cosmetics. Well, actually, she's passionate about the chemistry of everything. And I have to say that I am much more careful with the products I mix on my face now than before. Thank you, Ada. Well, chemistry, physics, mathematics. Remember when you came to my office to solve some easy mathematics HL problem together? Come on, Ada. You are the only mathematics HL student in this cohort. I was learning from you again. But what I really would like to highlight today about Ada is what a beautiful young lady she's becoming, inside and out, blossoming in a soil full of essential core values that we wish every student graduating in 2020 in the world is graduating with these values. I know everybody at QAIS is. Ada, you are about to embark in a wonderful journey in the US at Wake Forest University, top university. But I know that wherever you go, you will shine and you will make a difference. It was a pleasure to be your counselor, DP coordinator, and mentor. Ada Lee, please come to the stage. I have the
Dear fellow graduates, teachers, parents, friends, and staff, I'm Ada Lee. 3 years ago, I was in a Chinese middle school, thinking about the future cruel Gaokao. I have never thought about going to an international school at that moment. QAIS is the first international school that I have ever attended, and it has absolutely changed my life track. Because of QAIS, I am fluent in English and my another mother tongue, Korean. Thank you for your Korean classes, Mr. Jun. Because of QAIS, I was able to meet people from different nationalities and cultural backgrounds. Most importantly, I'm going to Wake Forest, my dream university, thanks to QAIS. What I have gained from the school are the people I don't want to leave behind. These are the people who give and continue giving me great love and support. Hence, on this very last day of school, I want to thank the people who helped me along my DP journey. First of all, I want to give a very special thanks to my mom. Thank you for always being on my side and supporting me to pursue whatever I want. Next, I want to thank my DP fellow friends, Angie, Lisa, my 11-year friends, and David, Yuka, Sushi, Ray, Jacob, and Wendy, who already left in DP1. You guys are an amazing group of people, and it is my honor to be your class, to have you as my classmate. I also want to thank my friends and family who come to my graduation today and who cannot be here, but are watching through the live stream. Thank you for coming. You have witnessed me at my worst moods, but you always have given me positive energy. Thank you for your love and support. Last but not least, I want to thank all the teachers and staff who helped me both academically and in day-to-day life. Thank you for those one-to-one classes, being my IA specialist, sharing your romantic experience to console me, and open my eyes to the world. A few days ago, when we were preparing for our graduation, I suddenly had the thought of having classes and said so. They all showed me really confused faces. Now I want to correct what I said and say what I actually meant. I really miss the times that we spent together as a class, the Thailand trip, robotics, volleyball, biking, birthday parties, and all the laughs and tears. Everything. I will miss every single tiny thing in this campus, and I will hold my memory in this campus as one of my treasures. Thank you everyone for letting me have such wonderful DP life. Finally, I have 2 more words to say. Ada out.
Thank you, Dr. Glau and Ada.
谢谢格劳博士和 Ada 同学。
Who's next?
Now it's Mr. Mark to introduce Yuka. 下面呢是我们的 Mark 老师将介绍我们的毕业生 Yuka 同学。
Thank you. I am very tempted to do this so slowly so the graduating class never leave because I love them so much, but it wouldn't be fair to anybody, I know. So today I'm introducing a student who's attended QAIS for longer than I have, and I feel like a fossil. She's more like a spring chicken. I've had the pleasure to know Yuka for 7 years now, and I've taught her for 3 of those years. She's someone who always makes me smile when she's around. She makes me happy. As I said earlier, Yuka's an inquirer. She's a scientist, if anybody is. She's also principled, sometimes principled to the point of being a little stubborn, but she has a strong internal value system, and I admire her for that. Yuka is definitely a thinker and able to synthesize new ideas and solutions from knowledge and understandings in multiple subject areas. This means she is also knowledgeable. She often showed a considerable amount of insight from a very early age. Indeed, so much so that I used to think in my head of her as Dr. Yuka, Dr. Yuka. In fact, she showed so much insight, I eventually started habitually referring to her as Dr. Yuka, and which is something I think she quite liked. And it would not surprise me if one day she returned to see me and she had a doctoral degree, and I would have to call her Dr. Yuka, or perhaps Dr. Yuka, or perhaps even Dr. Yukapuka, which is her nickname. She is courageous. I remember her submitting one assignment many years ago in iBook format, not a simple format to use correctly. And when I asked her why, she simply said, "Why not? It's something new to explore." As a communicator, she's fluent in 3 languages, and she works hard at communicating. She's patient to ensure that the person she is communicating with has understood what she's saying. Yuka has contributed patiently, quietly, and positively to our school, the local community, including such things as theatre performances, robotics, hiking, jiu-jitsu, to being president of the student council, and much more. She is a person who embodies all the attributes of an IB learner. So it's my total pleasure to introduce Yuka today.
Needless to say, this is a very unique graduation, and I'm relieved to be here delivering this speech after all the turmoil. At some points in the last 2 months, I actually felt like graduation wasn't going to happen, so I'm very glad it somehow got figured out. And just like the most of us here, my lifestyle under quarantine was quite mundane, but this experience actually led me to a realization. Figuring things out on the spot may just be the normality of life, but still, that does not mean I'm telling you scheduling is not important. It is a very important life skill. And hopefully the rest of 2020 will be a little bit more predictable. To those who aren't familiar with me, I've been at this school since kindergarten and witnessed 4 different campuses over the years. For me, QAS is really an emotional attachment. I can still recall the faces of each of my teachers and the sight of my classmates and I have in class from every single school year. But I shouldn't and cannot indefinitely be staying in QAS.
Even if I decide to stay put in the same old place, the people that I know, they leave and they change. And that's something that I picked up from being at an international school for so long. And that brings me to thinking about the future. I actually don't really have a career plan, and to be frank, I feel like people who have a dream is probably a minority. I think most people don't have a clear image of what they'll be doing in the future, and at least every adult answered the same thing when I asked about it. Now, the quarantine gave me a lot of time to think about my future career, and I think for me, the foremost priority is to get a bachelor's degree, and then perhaps a master's also if I don't really have a clear, image, and then work on art as a hobby or a bywork. Well, at least I have kind of a plan now. And this idea actually kind of follows the knife's norm is figuring things out. And that's also my advice for people. We never know what will happen in life, so prepping yourself in general isn't going to hurt, like getting minimum education degrees, getting some kind of financial backup, learning some extra skills that might just prove, useful. And with these, you'll probably be able to figure things out when things go kind of interesting. Let me talk a little bit about the graduating class of 2020. The graduating class of 2020 is a very well-bonded class, and we have a bit of different kind of talent condensed within it. We have activists, we have a math expert, a tech junkie, a musician, an artist, a singer, and one I'm not sure we can summarize in one word. She's kind of like a journalist and always gets the first bit of the information ahead of everyone. I wonder how she does that all the time. Now, most of us has been in the same class together for several years or even more, and we've experienced growth together, and I think that's a very unique experience, and it's not easy and probably unlikely that we'll find someone so fitting with each other in the future. So hopefully we'll, keep in touch and maybe send invitations to our future wedding parties, maybe. Now, I want to express my gratitude to everyone that has supported my childhood and teenagehood here at QAS. Every teacher, faculty worker, bus teacher, and friend. They each played a different and important role in constructing my childhood. And I would say my childhood was a very good one. And everyone here at QAS have an episode with me. For instance, the bus teachers taught me manners, the teachers inspired me, the faculty workers have been really kind to me, and the friends, obviously, most importantly, pretty much, give me companionship. And this sector of life will be forever memorable for me. And lastly, thanks to my parents and my family for making this all possible in the first place. Teenagehood could be tough, and probably for us and also for the family and the parents especially. I'm really glad that, they gave me all the support I needed and, give life to me in the first place. And obviously this isn't the final thank you to them, because I'm most certainly sure that I will still need a lot of help from them when I go to university, perhaps get married, and maybe finding houses, and so on. And that will be the end of my speech. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Mark and Yuka.
Thank you. Now, for our fourth and final musical interlude, Ray Pan will perform the Etude Concerto in D-flat major by Franz Liszt.
下面请大家欣赏瑞潘通同学的钢琴演奏李斯特音乐会练习曲。
Bravo, Ray, bravo.
非常精彩的表演，瑞，谢谢。
And now to the presentation of diplomas to our graduating class of 2020.
各位亲爱的毕业生，各位尊敬的来宾，下面是我们期待已久的时刻，为2020届毕业生颁发毕业证书。
Yuka just acknowledged that all her teachers in the past and the present have helped her to get to this point. So to begin, I call on all the teachers who have taught any of the graduating class at any time during them being at school to come up to the stage now and line up.
在 Yuka 的致辞里面，他提到了在学校里面有非常多的老师，然后为他的成长付出了辛勤的努力。现在呢，我们邀请毕业生的所有任课老师，并不仅仅是他们在大学预科时期的老师，只要您教过毕业生，我们邀请所有的任课老师走上台，一起见证和庆祝这一神圣的时刻。
Teachers, yes, come on up. Do we have any teachers hiding in the background? I hope not. If you can just squeeze over a little bit. Ah, Mr. Ashelman, welcome back. Nice to see you here.
欢迎我们的 Nathan 老师回来。
Each student has chosen their own individual piece of music that they feel represents them as they come out to collect their diplomas.
一会儿的仪式中呢，会有一个小的细节，大家会发现每一位毕业生的时刻都会有不同的背景音乐，这是他们为自己选择的伴奏曲。
As each student is called out, the student will greet each of the assembled teachers in turn. Dr. Vicari will move their graduation cap tassels from right to left to signify they have graduated from QAIS. Then they will receive their diploma. There will be a photograph and the graduating class of 2020 will line up at the front of the stage.
接下来 ，Mr. Mark 先生将逐一宣布毕业生的名字，毕业生将与每位老师握手，接受老师的祝福。从 Mr. Mark 手中接入大学毕业预科证书。Chris Vicari 博士将为毕业生拨穗，这代表着他们正式从大学预科项目毕业了。
So, to begin, is everybody ready? Fantastic. So to begin, Angie Giraldo.
It's my
Jacob Wong. Lisa Ying. Suchimita Chowdhury. Ray Pantong. David Shyam Kumar Kola Suresh Kumar. Ada, 李佳健。
Autumn and winter. 春天的风是刚晾干的床单的浅蓝色，是张开双手去获得，而不只是眼看着。我想起小时候的一辆自行车，穿越马路逆着风跑，哼着的歌，当阳光洒满我裸露的手臂，再也不是那时期委托天真的口气。我的手被另一只手握住，正在此刻，我才发现夏天的风是梦幻般的色。
And last but not least, Mizumoto Yuka.
Traditions at QAIS is to honor not only the success of our graduates on commencement day, but also the achievement of their parents. Parents, for 18 years you have nurtured your children and prepared them to take flight on their own in this wide and wondrous world. And here they stand before you as graduates, a testament to your unconditional love and support. As their achievement today marks their entrance into adulthood, you have successfully completed the most critical stage of parenting. So congratulations are in order for you. And as you strove to guide your children in the way that made most sense to you, I call forth the wise words of Khalil Gibran on children, which are always apropos for our graduation ceremonies. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make